Imagine this. You wake up to the sound of sirens. Not your phone alarm, real sirens. The window rattles, your stomach sinks. You're not dreaming. You're living in World War II. So here's the question. How would your mind survive when your world is falling apart? Psychology in peace is one thing, but psychology in war? That's a different species. The first thing that hits you is denial. Your brain whispers, "This can't be real." You tell yourself it'll be over by next week, because your mind's first instinct isn't courage, it's comfort. Denial is your brain's emotional shock absorber. It lets you sip tea while bombs fall in the distance and still think about what to make for dinner. It's not delusion, it's survival software. But when the illusion cracks, something incredible happens inside your skull. Your brain rewires itself for efficiency, trimming away imagination, hope, and distraction. You stop thinking about the future. Psychologists call it temporal narrowing. You live hour to hour, meal to meal, moment to moment. It's not that you lose ambition, your brain just stops affording it. Long-term goals? Irrelevant. You're not trying to build your brand, you're trying to build a fire. Then comes desensitization. You see tragedy so often, your emotions start going on power-saving mode. It's not that you stop caring, it's that you'd burn out if you didn't. Soldiers called it the 1,000-yard stare. Psychologists today call it emotional exhaustion. Same phenomenon, different vocabulary. Your mind slowly starts rationing emotions the same way you ration bread. A little bit for fear, a little for hope, and none left for crying. But here's the twisted part. Humans adapt fast. Within weeks, your brain creates a new normal. The sound of bombs becomes white noise. Air raids become part of your evening routine. You normalize the absurd because you have to. It's your brain's ultimate survival hack. When reality is unbearable, redefine reality. People still laughed. They still fell in love. Some even got married in bunkers. That's not denial anymore. That's psychological defiance. Your brain saying, "You can't take everything from me." But here's where it gets darker. In chaos, people don't just survive, they find meaning. Viktor Frankl, a psychiatrist who survived the Holocaust, noticed something astonishing. Those who found purpose, even in the camps, were far more likely to stay alive. Why? Because purpose gives the brain a why that can endure anyhow. Hope doesn't always save you, but meaning can keep you breathing. After the war, though, the mind doesn't go back to normal. You can rebuild cities, but you can't rebuild innocence. PTSD wasn't even recognized yet. They called it shell shock, as if it were just a noise problem, not a full-body memory stuck on repeat. Some veterans flinched at fireworks. Others couldn't sleep in silence. The war ended, but their minds were still on the battlefield. Some brains stayed wired for danger. Every slam of a door felt like an explosion. Every quiet night felt suspicious. You don't turn off survival mode. It has to fade, and sometimes it never does. Imagine that. You win the war, but lose peace in your own head. And maybe the scariest truth, you don't actually know how you'd cope until it happens. Some people would become heroes, others monsters. The difference isn't always morality. Sometimes it's just stress tolerance. War doesn't change people, it reveals them. It's psychology stripped naked. So if you lived during World War II, your brain would be tougher, harder, colder, sharper. You'd trade curiosity for calculation, hope for habit, innocence for instinct. Because when survival becomes the only rule, empathy, logic, and even morality start to bend. That's not weakness, that's adaptation. The mind's version of evolution compressed into chaos. So yeah, next time you complain about slow Wi-Fi, remember, your ancestors were dodging air raids with no caffeine and zero memes. But hey, now you know how your mind might have handled the war. You're welcome. That's going to cost you one subscribe and maybe a moment of existential dread.